Senator Mark Warner of Virginia, who's going to deliver some remarks on Donald Trump. And then at the end, we'll open it up for questions and take a moment to compile the queue. But for now, I'll go ahead and hand it over to Senator Warner.
Well, thank you, Ian, and appreciate everybody being on. I know we've got some Virginia press, but some national press that may not be as familiar with my background. But I've actually spent longer in business than I have in politics, 20 years as a tech leader, co-founder of Nextel, venture capitalist. Then as governor, Virginia under my tenure, got named as the best managed state and the best state for business by independent entities. So, unlike Mr. Trump, or unlike maybe some others in politics, as somebody who spent longer in business than in politics, I think I can make a comment or two about Mr. Trump's supposed business success. It is remarkable that he is touting. We don't really know how successful Donald Trump is, since first candidate in modern political history that's not been willing to release his tax records. So we don't know how much is fact versus puffery. But we do know a number of things about Donald Trump. We know he's bankrupted at least 4 businesses. We know he has a proven record of being a slow pay or no pay, particularly to small and mid-sized businesses. We know that he has been willing to outsource many of the products that he puts his name attached to. We know he created a university that left many folks in debt, and frankly, the only person that got enriched was Donald Trump himself. And then, more particularly as somebody who's focused both as governor and senator on balance sheet issues, we've seen the tone of his comments. I think his comments in Scotland after the Brexit vote were reckless. I could not imagine an actual national leader or even someone in the Senate making those kind of comments on foreign soil, saying the disruption, the multi-trillion dollars of economic disruption we've seen since the Brexit vote, he seemed to not have any care about that. He thought it would simply be good for his own personal business. To me, that is remarkable. It is beyond the pale in terms of not just a responsible political leader, but quite honestly, a responsible business leader. The truth is, if you are entrusted with positions of responsibility, words matter. Your tone matters. Your confidence matters. And on all of those indicators, Donald Trump has failed the test of tone or tenor for leadership. We have not seen a willingness to, and what we failed to see as well is even any willingness to, in fact, learn the facts. As we saw in his comments in Scotland, that whether he talked to any of his advisors, somehow what may work in terms of putting together a real estate deal are not the same rules if you're trying to guide national economies, if you're trying to recognize the ramifications on the world economy, or for that matter, if you're actually trying to lay out an economic plan that will increase growth in the United States. Last comment I want to make is, the data has shown over the last 30 years, the virtually majority of all the new jobs that have been created in America have come from startups, have come from innovation, have come from technology. Yesterday, Hillary Clinton laid out a very specific agenda that said, how can we do more to support startup industries? How can we do more to make sure that we continue to attract the world's best and brightest to be entrepreneurs in America? How do we make sure that we have an internet that's open and that we continue to leverage from an American economic standpoint that means that we're the world leader? Yet you've seen from Donald Trump, sound bites, no policies, kind of a full-scale attack in many ways. I say particularly around the encryption question about something that would not make Americans safer and frankly drive the bad guys off using foreign hardware and software with his non knowledgeable comments about encryption. And week after week, even as we approach the Republican convention, we don't see their presumptive nominee stepping up and both learning the facts and setting the tone that Americans, and for that matter, the rest of the world would expect from an American president. And I think his final comment is, you really got an interesting circumstance when the National Chamber of Commerce, which has historically been very supportive of Republican candidates, came on with a full-fledged onslaught, both questioning Trump's facts, knowledge, and assumptions about trade. So this is going to be, we all know, a critically important election. No one could have predicted this kind of election season. But as we see, perhaps in the UK and elsewhere, remorse from kind of taking rash actions, that kind of rash actions is Donald Trump's plan on steroids. And with that, I'd be happy to take any